Well, hello everyone, and hello Leslie. So you may be the only one here at the moment. So I'm here to give some feedback about what I've been shown about what did and didn't happen in regards to this ascension event, the solar flash, and what I am shown about it, and what I'm able to share with you. Sorry, that's just my cursor doing strange things. And hi Stacey, hi Charlotte. Yeah, so I got really burnt when I went and did the sacred ceremony on the 1st, and I'll share some of that. It was pretty powerful. Hello Anna, still up. Hello Billy. Yeah, so let me begin, and then we can see if you've got any other questions. Hello, Happy New Year, Champion for the Cause. Happy New Year, everybody. So we have moved to a higher level and have not yet ascended. So many of you will have been still having ascension symptoms, and you will, I believe that you will be or have felt some shift, because we definitely had an energetic shift that was very, very significant to me. The reason that we didn't ascend is because there is further discontinuation of the influence of the dark required. So at the moment, we have got and are still experiencing this divine light flooding the planet and washing over the planet. And we, us as beings, we are going through massive transformation. Everything is faster and higher. So this vibrational transformation, this morphing that we're going through as our frequencies are getting higher and faster and heightened and realigned and balanced. So we were all set to go. And so let me just frame this up. So I went off and did sacred ceremony on the 1st with a group of 3 others. There were 2 men and 2 women, and we did work in different places. And on the way back, one of them, who wasn't driving, was channeling Commander Ashtar. So I said, can I ask Commander Ashtar a question? And I was given permission, and so I asked him, was my channeling through Gaia around ascension and our ascension movement and moment accurate? And he said, after, like, I could, he was running through it, he said, yes, it has been very accurate. And the reason it didn't happen was only discovered, he didn't say when, but it has just been discovered. And so I have tuned in, and I am aware that there's a lot that we might not be shown until later, and that I haven't been shown either. And he made me aware of that. So we were all set to go when there was a discovery of an element that had to be removed from the planet before we ascend to 5th dimensional frequency and space in the galaxy. So he was saying we could see this as a discovery of like a density dip that would have destabilized our ascension, a bit like a piece of pastry that was thinner somewhere, and that when that part would burn when the rest of the pie is just browned. He was using that analogy. I think I might just go to something else that I just wrote. So then earlier today, or a little while ago, I wrote a whole lot of stuff, and then I asked Commander Ashtar to tell me something more. So this is what he said. Yes, there is something encoded in the earth that created an activation that meant we needed to abort our planned ascension event in order that this could be attended to. And so all of us, are asked to trust that this is so and was unforeseen and is being dealt with. In the meantime, humanity will continue to receive light code upgrades from the great central sun and beyond through the heavenly activities and the emissions of your own sun. When all is harmonized again, we will have planetary ascension and a collective human ascension event. And then I got this message from God to give to you. Go well, trust in your own divinity unfolding through this time. This is merely a pause and is for the highest good of all. And that was signed Adonai, which means God. Okay. So what we do know is that hearts have a new and higher frequency. So there were, I think I felt two specific waves that came through that opened up the heart. So I just encourage, look how burnt I got. I had a hat and sunglasses, but I was just off in other places really. Place your hands on your heart. Just do this with me and see if you can feel it, because I could feel the difference. And breathe in here. Breathe into this space in your heart, and feel the breath washing over it. So just drop into it deeply. Good. And just notice how it kind of unfolds at that point. Imagine it a bit like a flower unfolding to a new level. So this is our newly expanded feeling in the body of the heart, and it's a higher vibration. You ought to be able to have greater communication and consciousness through your heart space. And I just invite you to do this attunement each morning for a bit, as we integrate this higher consciousness, and we will have other things that come online because of it. So my notes are all over the place. So what is becoming obvious as well is that we were brought through in this time, in this gateway, if you like, in this these awakening waves, this ability to collaborate and co-create, and it shows up. And I really don't have a lot of information about this at the minute, but it shows up as like sacred geometric patternings, or constellations is the other word that I got, that you may find that you're linking into other groups in terms of your divine purpose, because all of that is coming online more strongly as well. These various patterns and layers, and I was shown that we might belong to more than one of those as we're activated into higher consciousness and in metamorphosis with these sacred activations and light codes. So all of us are having that. And so that may be a new, what I'm showing is that is new. That is a new revealing that's come through that time. A greater awareness is likely as we weave in higher consciousness across humanity, this unfolding, this unveiling, this metamorphosis with these sacred light codes and activations. So what happened is this energy came in, so you could see that there's a link between all of the levels of the suns, but let's say the great central sun, our sun, the center of the planet, and our solar plexus, as well as heart activations. And so all of this is connecting us up through that part, and a lot of heat and a lot of solar activity within the body. We've been receiving a lot of intense gamma and photonic waves coming through with these gamma waves. So it's the gamma waves that use up the melatonin in the body, and that's why people's sleep is disturbed. And then these photonic rays, that they are carrying these other codes that are helping in our activations, helping in our reconnecting up the 12 strands of DNA and reactivating to a higher level the heart and the higher heart, and then this integration of that's all much faster as well, and really kind of the body is really in big change. So in some ways there's a little bit of relief because we got those couple of big waves, and now we're in very strong integration with that. So we are now at, so us, let's say, see this as a pulse. You can see the heart has a pulse, or the soul, the solar has a pulse, the solar plexus has a pulse, but our body has this higher vibrational pulse. It links into the earth, the sun, and the great central sun. And so we are all harmonizing through this pulsation now. A new energetic resonance, higher heart frequencies of love, which are becoming balanced and harmonized. And so you are asked to continue doing the work. So that's holding this higher vibration, that's holding this higher resonance. And I want to say that if you just deal and heal with whatever comes up. So if you found yourself having a strong reaction to the fact that it didn't freaking happen, then that might be some work, and it certainly is an opportunity for you to attend to whatever came up. So what were the feelings? Were you peeved? Were you angry? Were you frustrated? Did you become in disbelief? Did you start to feel that somebody had, or even me, had told you a lie? Or did you feel deceived? Any of those things, you could see that as, what is that? Why am I feeling that? Where am I feeling that? What does it link to? And see it as an opportunity for healing. Don't be disheartened. There's just been this unexpected delay. All of us were surprised. So trust and receive this message with grace and gratitude, and see it as we now have more time to do any other healing that might have come up, because of they were really high frequency, these waves that came through, and so they penetrate more deeply. There will be greater awareness that's come for the collective. There'll be, I would say, that part of the spin-off of this will be that that there will be more people who can go through ascension while we're still on the planet, and that there'll be less work required for people off the planet. Let me see what else is here. Right, so now I can tell you a little bit about so hearts have been continuously opened. Try and spend some time in stillness each day if you aren't, with your hands on your heart, and breathe in and feel in and see if you can be connecting in and getting greater information from your hearts, and see it as an opportunity to maybe teach someone else to do that. And yeah, I'll come back to yes, Carla, the energies have definitely changed, and it is lighter. It's a lot lighter. So I did this sacred ceremony, and I'll tell you more about it. But honestly, it totally, and all the work that I've ever done while I've been working with Gaia, it took me. I left home at 7:30 in the morning and connected up to the people who I was meeting, and then we drove down into the Waikato, and we drove into the back of Mercer, into land I've never been to, and it was ancient. It had this whole feeling of the ancient rocks. These the energy of it shifted and changed, but it was really ancient. And where we first went, these people had been before, and they called it Lemuria, and these ancient rocks had those sacred energies about them, and they linked in. What did they remind me of? Some of the sacred, like some of the rocks looked a bit like the rocks at Punakaiki, if you've ever been there. If you're not a New Zealander, they are the pancake rocks that exist here. And some of them reminded me of some of the ancient stones that I had been to in other places of the world. Anyway, when we got out there, we tuned in, and as soon as we got out, Spirit said to me, "See down there," and there was this piece of grass. It was sown. It was this bright lime green. I don't know what it was, but it was this bright lime green. And Spirit said, when we do this work, you use that as the heart chakra. So anyway, Elizabeth opened up with this ancient song, and I watched as the land opened. So the land just like it came up and opened it, and it was how it looked. That was how it looked, like as though something underneath it was pushing it up, and all of these beings came out, and they were that there were so many of them. I personally couldn't really identify them, but they were representing angles, really. So Spirit said they represent the multidimensional aspects of our world and what we are coming into. And so there was a lot of triangles that showed up in different colors and things like that. And then we did this pumping. So the four of us held hands, and we were just being guided, and two of us see and two of us in this four feel. And so the two of us who we could see that there had been this shaft of crystalline light that held the qualities of citrine and had that colour, and that shaft was being linked to the center of the earth, and it was as though it had this drilling capacity to it. So it was going right down into the center of the earth and right up to the sun. And then we were instructed to breathe, and we started breathing, and then it became clear that what was happening was that we were creating like a pump. So this energetic pump that was pulling in the light and kind of holding space for the purification to come out and be, for anything else to be transmuted. So there was lots of that, and there was lots of information about that. There were things to do with all of the species. There were things to do with the 4 directions. There were things to do with there were things to do with all of the aspects of the land. So let me find that. Oh yeah, so what I got shown about the these beings and these lights and everything coming out was many shapes and colours. There was nothing malevolent in there, and it was like this re-emergence, this re-arrival of the new species. And then so we created this pumping effect with the breath and the energy both in and out. So this was purification and clearing of land and of prisoners. So I saw, and you see this, I thought this was already done. And maybe it was, and maybe we just had to witness it. But I was clearly showing children being released. I was showing prison bars. This was all under. This was all in the surface under. So Gaia talks about the land or the earth as having an inner earth and then the outer earth and then the surface. So this is that outer region. So I was seeing that there were like prisons, jails, or jail bars anyway, and people who'd been enslaved. So all of this and that surface strata, and animals that had, and interbreeding, and children, and all sorts of people were being released from those places. And also there were things related to the alignment that came. So then I was guided. I think we did that for about an hour, that breathing in and out and seeing this extra purification, or witnessing the purification that had already happened, or one of those. And sorry, I probably could have maybe tuned into that. But anyway, that was what I was witnessing, and that's what the other clairvoyant was witnessing as well. And then I got guided to sing, and I sang in this very channeled voice. I was like I watched myself, so I could, in some ways, I could see the words coming in. There was a lot of Māori syllables, and so I knew the gist of it that was coming through. But it was really deep and booming and loud, and it was across the land, and so it was all about the clarity, the clearing, and afterwards the other people said that what they witnessed was this alchemization that I had blended in that I blended the energy of Gaia with the energy of Lady Aroha, who is the mother of New Zealand, the energetic, spiritual, ascended master of New Zealand. And that was what they witnessed. And so there were things to do with unification and all the directions and all the elements, and they were being unified. So it was all of the creatures of the land and the creatures of the water, the creatures of the air and the fire elements, and the air, earth, water, and fire and ether elements, and the energetic signatures of each of those. So they were all being harmonized and alchemized together to come into unification. And what else happened there? The energy changed. So the even the sky changed when we'd finished. So when we were first there were a lot of clouds, and there were actually quite a lot of chemtrails. And when we finished, the sky was clear. And then we went further south to some sacred waterfalls. And in there, someone saw another giant. And in there, we each did our own sort of level of work. And so I was sounding and singing in the water and releasing all that needed to be removed. Did I write this down? So I was releasing all that needed to be purified and cleared from myself personally, for humanity, for all of the sentient beings of the earth and the earth. And then when I came home, I actually felt as though, so I was driving. And I felt as though I'd been on a boat all day. It was really unusual. I hadn't been on a boat at all, but that was how I felt. I felt a bit spacey, and yeah, I felt like I was in that. I have pretty good sea legs, but I hadn't been on a boat. But that was how I felt. And then when I came home, it took me a whole lot of integration, like massive integration, and I couldn't even speak. So it took me, I don't know, maybe until 2 o'clock or so the following day before I could even make a sound with my mouth. That was the level of integration. It just felt like it needed to just keep going. So that's where we're at. We've had this, what feels to me like a very big upgrade. We are lighter, higher, faster. Our hearts are able to function differently now. More people are awake, and we will have to await for this, whatever this is. And yeah, and I guess we'll be shown at some point, but Commander Ashtar said not to see and not and yeah, that it's not to be seen, it's not to be spoken of, it's just will be attended to. So I want to say that my take on that is that so that we place our energy appropriately, and our energy needs to be on ascension, and our own personal ascension, our own personal light and vibration, and holding that high in our hearts, being grounded, and then being and that's the other thing, because I was grounded. I got taken out for dinner at the end of the day, and so I had finished that work quite a long time beforehand, and was very grounded, and and still I felt like that all that time. So I know that it was absolutely massive. And I do have a lot of information about 2023, but I will do that on a separate video. I just kind of felt that I wanted to come and share this with you, but it's taken quite a bit to get to the place to be able to speak about it. So let's see here. So Lauren is saying we've got 3 planets in retrograde until January the 22nd, and then we will start to go and jump higher. So we will. I thank you for that. And what I'm showing is that we will continue to receive these waves as we are now. And that, so our work is just to keep integrating. So remember, that's using the breath, that's being grounded, that's being well hydrated, and many of you are probably having quite significant changes. So in the body, you well, first of all, your sleep patterns might be all over the place. Some people are sleeping a lot, some people aren't sleeping at all. Also, you want to spend that time in stillness. There's integration and upgrading going on for people in all of the body. So eyes, ears, brain, heart, higher heart, solar plexus, sacral, the root chakra, the reconnection of all of those, the light body integration, the multidimensional soul integration. All of that is going on, and so we can just see that this is, extra time for us to do that integration to a higher level. People have got sore bodies, sore muscles. People are having wing activations, and so that's another alignment that's coming in. And the work to do is to always come into balance. So whatever you're doing, you come back into balance. You call it into balance. And just focus on what is good and what is good for all, and on truth and on things being revealed. So I think that's all I have. So let me see what else is here. On the other side of the harbour, Tiako. So Carla, are you? Where are you? Where is that? Are you in Hawaii? Is that Hawaii? Synchronicities, manifestations, good sleep in the day, well-being. Heidi is saying, but not at night. Have a real sense of not being here. So lots of you will be off doing soul work in the night, helping others. So we just see this as a slight pause, and we just keep doing our work so that when we move through, we can be more available to assist others. And we just have to hold the faith, hold the trust, and know that all is well. So I thank you for tuning up here and for your comments and contributions in the chat. And it is all going to be amazing. And what is very interesting is that Commander Ashtar, he it's funny, isn't it? I was talking to these people that I was with, so I got invited to go and do this sacred ceremony with them, and we did something on the solstice, and then we did that, and we're pretty powerful when the four of us are together. And so I was talking to them about my kind of history of channeling and when I first started channeling and how that all happened. And I realized just in the last week that, I've just been channeling Gaia, apart from the odd message from Grandmother Anna, or who sometimes feels like she's my CEO. And Grandmother Anna is the mother of Mother Mary in that lifetime, the grandmother of Yeshua, Jesus. So, and I have connection into that lineage. But it made me realize that I have really just been doing this channeling with Gaia. So that I channeled that from Commander Ashtar today. But he is by all accounts that I can be shown that he is responsible for the ascension. So he is overseeing the ascension of the planet, and so what he was saying was that whatever showed up was it's as though how it showed to me when I asked it to be shown a little bit more was that it was as though as the planet began its expansion through this vibrational shift, it was as though that triggered something that allowed something else to happen, and that created some instability. And so whatever that is, I don't know. And I was told as well by him. So we will, it'll be shared when, or maybe not, I don't know. But anyway, his team, they are attending to that. So yeah, we'll be given a heads up, or I'm sure, and we can still expect the same things, and we'll be, prepared to a higher level. So yeah, Happy New Year to all of you. Oh, in Raglan there are pancake rocks. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Hello, Jackie and Leslie. You're welcome, Heidi. Thank you. Hi, Fiona. Happy New Year. Yeah, so I will get back in here. Well, no, probably not tomorrow. I've got a back-to-back day tomorrow, but we'll see. About 2023. So we will be a part of, especially the witnessing of structure, the dissolution and release of all of these structural elements and structural components, systems in our world will be being looked at and turned over and redesigned over the next 2 years. But 2023 will be when there's a lot of dissolution of them. Gaia says that by the end of 2024, all of our new systems and structures will be in place. We are likely to have some transitory shifts as well. So she's always spoken about our financial and economic systems being a series of transitions. But yeah, all of our old paradigms breaking down, and we'll be witnessing that in our own lives. And you may be witnessing, as I am, there's a softness in the collective now. There's more openness, and so this is all preparation for them to come into their higher light. And then as people do, and they're connected into their soul purpose, these groups will form, and many of you will be having leadership roles in those. Hi, Larissa. So yeah, happy New Year, and we will await and be told when we're going to have this event. And in the meantime, just enjoy your integration and enjoy becoming more lit from the inside, and get into the habit of connecting into your own home space, your own divine flame and be in conscious co-creation and communication with that. So many, many blessings to you, and we'll speak again soon.